It's time for our daily dose of cope, and we have Chichi Kachiyama back at the correspondence desk, and we needed to bring her back because she's eating this plate of faces, and this one is saying, "I voted for you. Why is ICE taking my family?" This is the most appropriate one for today with all that is going on in LA and Trump versus LA and Trump versus Gavin Newsom, and basically Trump soft launching how he's about to deploy the military on states and cities that he doesn't like. This is where I'm starting today in the Leopards Ate My Face subreddit. This one's titled, "I'm a Latino who voted for a racist. I can't believe the racist is hunting my people." Ali Gallardo says, "At one point in the election, I remember wanting Trump to win. I wanted change. Regulation to immigration never crossed my mind. He would begin hunting down our people. Although I was born here, my parents were immigrants. My mom, now a U.S. citizen. They made sacrifices to give us a better future. Latinos, it is okay to have wanted a change, maybe believing the lies. Voting for Trump is not the problem. The problem is you being okay with what he is doing, being too egocentric to admit you regret voting for him, and it being a disastrous choice. At this point, I really don't care about everyone has the right to their opinion, tearing families apart. Hunting hardworking immigrants is not an opinion, but a fact. If you are truly happy with your choice and happy you voted for Trump, I urge you, please delete me. I don't care for you or your opinions. Thank you." But he's not done. Hashtag, "No one is illegal on stolen land." He says, "I'm tired of hearing it's not racism. It's about following the law." No, it's deeper than that. This isn't just about immigration policy. This is racism hiding behind rules. Because when it's people like us Latinos, immigrants, families crossing the borders for a better life, we get labeled as criminals. We get locked in cages. We get ripped away from our kids. He did this the first time around. This is what he did the first time around. Why would you do this again? But when others overstay their visas or cross through other ways, no one says anything. Why? Because the issue isn't how you came, it's in who you are and where you come from. You knew this the first time around. I'm a son, a husband, a father, a teacher, a worker, and yes, I'm also an immigrant, and I'm not ashamed of it. What breaks my heart is how we're treated, how our stories are ignored, how we're judged without being known. If this offends you, if you think I'm being dramatic, that laws are laws, if you think people like me are the problem, then feel free to unfriend me, delete me. These are signs that they were holding at campaign rallies for Trump. They were talking about bloody mass deportation, and the MAGAtinos are clutching at their pearls now like, I didn't think they would rip families apart and hunt down my people. So the person that posted this says, "Latino man voted for Trump, a racist. Trump promises mass deportation during his campaign. Trump becomes president and starts his racist policy. Latino man freaks out because Trump is hurting his community. He admits he's never thought about Trump's immigration policy before." Chief Internet Surfer says, "Congrats on getting everything you voted for." And who I be says, "The mental gymnastics, Jesus effing Christ. Yet effer, voting for Trump is the problem, especially considering he is doing what he said he would do. He said it out loud. To this guy, go F yourself." Now we have a Facebook post from Shane. Shane says, "I voted for Trump. I am a conservative and I support most of what Trump is doing, but I have to say I do not support these Gestapo tactics of ICE. Yes, we need a secure border and we should know who is in our country, but I do not support these mass deportations. The idea of being here since grade school and you're being sent to a foreign country that you do not know is not okay. I've said it once, I've said it a million times, and I will again. I don't care where you came from. We all came from somewhere. These images of the National Guard in LA are terrifying. Is this America? You see if they are allowed to do this, then when do they stop? At the same time, I don't think we should allow protesters to burn their city down either. They are not burning their city down. I also don't think it's practical to try and remove 10 million people from our workforce. It's a conundrum, I know. I wish they would stick to the people who are in prison and have committed violent crimes. I just don't like to see soldiers policing Americans. And yes, Americans are being affected too. Crossing the border is illegal and we shouldn't allow a free pass, but those who haven't committed any other crimes should have a way to stay. This isn't right, and I'm losing support for Trump." By the way, there isn't a chance in hell I would have voted for Biden or Kamala. All this vitriol for Trump, it's the Democrats' fault we even have a Trump. The candidates the Democrats have presented the last 15 years have been pathetic options, and my pet's feelings for an individual will not sway my vote to an incompetent candidate such as Biden, Kamala, Hillary, or freaking Waltz. Hate Trump? Fine. But you have to give us a better option. So help me God, if any of you say Newsom, I'm going to slap you when I see you. Please give us better. You know, this is the main reason why I can't pay these people any mind. A half-dead goat would have done better than Trump. A half-dead goat that ran as a Democrat would have been better than Trump. But they still want to blame Democrats for something. There's no way any Democrat would have been doing any of these Gestapo tactics that Trump is deploying right now on American citizens. There's absolutely no way. No matter how they try to massage it, nothing that any Democrats, it could have been curry soup running as a Democrat, and they would have, that curry soup would have been a better option than what Trump is doing right now to the American people. So they can try the mental gymnastics all they want to place the blame on Democrats, but there is no Democrat that would have done any of the things that Trump has done in the past 4 or 5 months to destroy America. Nothing. Gavin Newsom reshared Kristi Noem's tweet from February 2024, really a long time ago. She said back then, if Joe Biden federalizes the National Guard, that would be a direct attack on states' rights. And he said simply, this aged well. And Gavin Newsom is also highlighting the conditions that the National Guard is sleeping in. When Trump mobilized these people, he did not have an actual plan because he's not a planner. He's more like a distractor, or he's trying to distract with fireworks and glitter and unicorns or whatever. He said, Gavin Newsom says, you sent our troops here without fuel, food, water, or a place to sleep. Here they are, being forced to sleep on the floor, piled on top of one another. If anyone is treating our troops disrespectfully, it's you, Donald Trump. Gavin Newsom again saying, I was just informed Trump is deploying another 2,000 Guard troops to LA. The first 2,000 giving no food or water. Only approximately 300 are deployed. The rest are sitting unused in federal buildings without orders. This isn't about public safety. It's about stroking a dangerous president's ego. This is reckless, pointless, and disrespectful to our troops. And here's Donald Trump on his live social page saying, if they spit, we will hit. This is a statement from the President of the United States concerning the catastrophic Gavin Newsom-inspired riots going on in LA. These insurrectionists have a tendency to spit in the face of the National Guardsmen, women, and others. These patriots are told to accept this. It's just the way life runs, but not in the Trump administration. If they spit, we will hit, and I promise you they will be hit harder than they have ever been hit before. Such disrespect will not be tolerated. Unless you're a January 6th insurrectionist that is storming the Capitol. And I want to remind us all of the Trump flags. These insurrectionists tried to take over the Capitol. They were harming people. They were overrunning people. People died this day because of these people. And Trump did not call the National Guard on them. But he's calling the National Guard out in LA because he wants to deploy martial law. And I will talk about the Marines being deployed into LA, but I'll do that in another video. Shifting focus a little bit. So this is a tweet from Mr. Marcus, and it says, my friend who didn't vote because they both suck just got fired from her job due to DEI cuts and rollbacks. So many people will say that they don't do politics, or I'm not going to vote or have protest vote. Whatever. They might say that they don't do politics, but politics will do you. And politics did this person. She would still have her job, and DEI wouldn't have been come down on as hard if Kamala Harris would have been president. So she's having the day that she didn't vote for. I need to lighten the mood a little bit. And this woman's 2 TikToks that I'm about to share with you will lighten the mood, because she said that her Republican parents are in the FA phase of the FAFO because her parents got some prescriptions. She went and picked up prescriptions for her parents, and those prescriptions are significantly higher. So now I'm just going to share with you her video and the aftermath. So yes, we need to see this. We need to see more FAFO in real time with real numbers. It warms my heart. You needed this. Let me know what you think.
My Republican parents are in the FO phase of FAFO. So a couple days ago, my mom texted me asking if I could pick up her prescription because the pharmacy filled it before they were actually going to be in town. I said, sure, no problem. She told me it would be about $220. So I was like, okay, no worries. So I roll up to the pharmacy and the lady tells me it's going to be $778. And I was like, whoa, that's a huge difference from what my mom said. So can you just give me a couple minutes and I'm gonna try to make sure that they're cool with it. So I call my mom, no answer. I call the house phone, no answer. I call my dad finally and he picks up. He said, well, I feel like that's amount I've paid before at the pharmacy for your mom. So I was like, okay. The woman said, yeah, and you're lucky you came today because the insurance company called yesterday and repriced it. So before it was gonna be $1,000. I was like, oh, I'm saving money. Mom's gonna be so happy. Home, text my parents, hey, this is what you guys owe me. My mom freaks out. She's like, what? It was only for one prescription for a 3-month supply. She's like, it's always $220. Dad starts freaking out because he was like, wait, what prescriptions did you pick up? And I said, it was only for one. He thought when I called him that it was these 2 drugs that she normally gets together. My mom was like, what the heck? That's crazy, da-da. And I was like, well, you paid $220 before, right? And she's like, yep, 3 months ago when I picked it up. I said, well, Mom, the only thing that has changed within 3 months is you know what? I still have the prescription. And I bought some of these lovely I did that stickers. So put that under the $778 and we'll be so excited to deliver that to my parents when they get back in town. For those of you that have been waiting for an update for the FAFO with my parents and my mother's prescription, I am on my way to my parents' house right now to deliver the goods. For those that are completely lost of what I'm talking about, go to my profile. It's pinned to the top. I went and picked up a prescription for my parents that they said would be $220. It ended up being $778. The only thing that's changed is, you know what. So we got the goods right here. It's a nice little... Oh. Uh-oh. What?
Still got the bags.
Of course I still have the bags.
Medicine.
Expensive medicine. What? Put a Trump thing on here. I did that. Oh God, look at it.
You see it, Dad?
You see that?
He didn't do that.
He did do it. He did do it.
You know, you believe what
Okay, let's not
he did not.
He did do it, Dad. What's the only thing that changed?
Let's not start.
Why was Ozempic
Did you hear me?
sometimes $968 when Biden was there, and then became $500?
Because he signed
then became $700 and went back to $900. It's because of drug companies.
No, it's because of Trump.
Why do dogs lick their balls?
But also,
'Cause they
why the drug companies are never gonna change because Trump's never gonna make them change because
He
might.
might.
He's not gonna make them change. He might.
Well, go to Canada.
But it's not because you had a deductible, right?
What?
Like that it was so much.
No, it's whatever it is.
Because I've been doing some research on deductibles. There you have it. You also heard my dad criticizing my bangs, which they're not having the best day, but whatever.